What is the origin of Sol Invictus? Why does it fall on December 25th, a day many of us associate with Christmas, a Christian holiday celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ? To answer this question, first we have to explore why Jesus' birthday is even celebrated on December 25th, when biblical scholars predominantly point to spring as the most likely time of nativity. For hundreds of years after Jesus' supposed death and rebirth, Christians didn't celebrate birthdays, not even for the Son of God, because birthday celebrations were considered pagan in practice. Even today, the Orthodox Church places its focus on Easter over Christmas. Instead, January 6th was one of the principal celebrations in Christianity known as Epiphany. It commemorated the manifestation of Christ's divinity. It wasn't until the 330s AD that a feast day celebrating the birth of Christ appeared in Rome, springing from decades of doctrinal disputes centering around Jesus' divinity and humanity. A celebration of the birth of the human Jesus emphasized both the dichotomy between the human and divine forms of Christ and the importance of Jesus' physical birth. Without context, the ecumenical workings of the early Christian church seem unrelated to Sol Invictus. However, it tells the story of the persecuted becoming the persecutors, and how a once widely celebrated pagan holiday fell into obscurity. By the middle of the 2nd century, Christianity had grown from a loose movement into a juvenile powerhouse, fueled by the introduction of the New Testament. The 3rd century ushered in an age of persecution, as Roman bureaucrats tried and failed to quell the explosive movement. By the turn of the 4th century, Christianity was the state religion, and Emperor Constantine the Great became the first major Christian supporter to rule Rome. He unified the Roman Empire during his 30-year rule, and by the late 300s, public worship of other religions was illegal. It is widely accepted that Christmas was intentionally placed over the winter solstice, a pagan feast day celebrating the unconquerable sun, which fell on December 25th. This move by church politics not only allowed them to replace a perceived threat with a new holiday honoring Jesus, it also allowed them to appropriate the iconography, and the sun became a common metaphor for Christ in early Christian literature. This was likely intended to encourage conversion to Christianity. There is some debate regarding the importance of December 25th for pagans in Rome around this time. There are limited historical references to a celebration of Sol Invictus in December, though countless references exist for the winter solstice. As a result, it continues to be debated whether the date was commonly considered feast day for the sun god, whose major feast is generally recorded as falling from October 19th to the 22nd. Proponents suggest that Roman Emperor Aurelian proclaimed the holiday of Sol Invictus in the late 200s, catapulting the cult of the sun into the Roman mainstream. Dissidents point to a distinction between the sun god Sol Invictus and the cosmic body of the sun, the latter of which would justify homage during the shortest day of the year, heralding the return of light and warmth. Additional theories, such as historians hybridizing Saturnalia, which took place in mid-December with the winter solstice, are also hotly debated. Regardless of the still obscured truth, there is a narrative of self-empowerment in reappropriating a celebration, particularly one stolen by oppression from a dominant theological power. Even with Christianity's recent and painful past, painted red with the blood of martyrs, they quickly turned their newfound freedom into violence and tyranny, a pattern that would escalate for centuries to come and cost countless lives. For Satanists, this highlights the vital role of the other in the face of uneven power. With this in mind, there are many ways for Satanists to celebrate Sol Invictus. The return of light is a frequent motif in winter solstice celebrations, which can symbolize knowledge and rationality, as well as bounty and health. Another common theme is generosity, reminding us that during the longest, darkest of days, compassion and empathy are what carry a community through. The Satanic Temple of Boston would like to say to you during these long, dark days, in a particularly long, dark year, that you are not alone. Please join us in celebrating the light of knowledge, of science, by being safe during this pandemic for yourself and for others. To wear a mask, socially distance, avoid unnecessary travel and outings, and above all, be well. Hail you, hail Satan. Happy Sol Invictus.